cut this part out. Hi, welcome back to the last part of the course. So before we go to test our AI agents, I'm going to just show us some quick finish up to do here, right? So after setting up our prompting, you want to make sure that you actually publish your workflow, all of your workflow, right? So you're just going to click on publish and then you publish it. And just like that, your work is published. You also want to go into each of the other agents to publish them, right? So now that we have our workflow published, we'll go back into our Telegram and then we're going to see the functionality of this personal assistant agent. So I'm just going to start with hi. It says, how can I assist you today? So I'm going to say, check for my last 3 emails, right? So I'm going to say, check for my last 3 message and let's see what happens. And then we have it. It said, here are your 3 most recent mail. We gave where each of them are coming from, 1 to 3, right? These emails indicate that blah, 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 right? And that's actually a cool one. And the next thing I'm going to test right here is send a message to David. You remember that David is actually in our contacts database, right? So I'm just going to send a message to David, asking about his health. And let's see how that runs. I said I've sent a message to David. Right, let me know if you need any help with anything else. You can see that the responses are concise. It's not like AI generated. It's actually chatting with you like an assistant. So we're going to go into our Gmail now, to see the message that is sent to David. Sent. Okay. And as you can see, it says, hi David, I hope this message finds you well. I just wanted to ask about your health and how you've been doing lately. Please let me know if there's anything you need. Even though I didn't send it that, but I mean, this is a very great example. And that's actually because remember, David was in our contact database. So it took the David's mail from the contact database and sent it directly. So let's go back to our Telegram and just continue testing. So the next question I'm going to be asking it is going to be about calendar, right? So I can just say create an event or create a meeting for 5 p.m. Let me say for 7 p.m. It's check-in with that. So this is me asking it to do a calendar task. Right, to create a meeting for 7 p.m. and call it check-in with Rihanna. Let's wait for the response. They say that schedule your meeting with Rihanna, check-in with Rihanna for today, 7 to 8 p.m. It's automatically, Google Meet automatically extend your meeting to 1 hour. So you can join the meeting via here. So let's click on the link and see where it takes us to. Okay. So we have the meeting. You see, checking with Rihanna at 7 to 8 p.m. Just that there are no other details. But I mean, that's actually perfect enough, right? So let's go back to our Telegram and now ask it. I can ask it to check my availability for today or check my meeting for today. Oh, perfect. So as you can see now, I asked you to check the meeting we have today, and it says I have gym by 4 to 5, and then I have check-in with Rihanna by 6 to 7. And if you go into my calendar, you will see that that's actually the 2 meetings that I have today. I have gym by 4, and I have check-in by 5, which is actually great. So the next thing I'm going to be testing now is the task functionality. So I would ask you to create a task too, right? Create a task called presentation, and let's see what it does with that. Okay, so it says there's an error. This is part of what I was explaining while adding the error handling, right? So it's able to tell us that I encountered an error. Your system did not just stop. It did not just hang. It didn't just go silent without giving you a response. It said I encountered an error while trying to create a task presentation today. So let me ask it further. Let me press further before we actually troubleshoot what might be wrong. So let me ask it to check my due task today. Okay, it still shows the same thing. So definitely we have an error coming from our system. So I'm just going to troubleshoot that to see where. So we go into the task agent, right? And then come to executions. And then as you would see from the execution pane, we have error in the last two tasks. So we're going to open it up and see where the error issue is coming from. So debugging editor, right? And we know that the error is coming from this task. So it says bad arguments. Okay. Okay, I see where the issue is coming from. The issue is coming from this date. The AI agent is actually trying to pass a date through this, and we don't have any date functionality. We did not actually add a date functionality to our task set. But if I go ahead to add the due date, right? Due to due date to the task node now. So, and then I allow the AI agent to decide. So if we test that again, let me test that again and see if it works. So I'm just going to say check my due. Okay, so I'm just going to ask it to create a task called presentation today again. Okay, so I need to publish that again. Remember, you must always publish, right? So after publishing that, let me send the message again and let's see what it does this time around. Okay, it says I'm still encountering issue. Obviously, the issue from here is very clear, right? So you'll be able to troubleshoot immediately because you know what you have built and then you understand. So from here, we know that the main issue is coming from the task, right? So now that I've troubleshoot, back to our testing. So if I ask you to create a task named presentation, let's see what it does. She said I've created a task without a due date. Let me know if you'd like to add a due date. So let's go and check the task, my task to see if it actually created a task called presentation. And as you can see here, we have a task called presentation. So I'm going to ask it to update the task, right? That's to test the update function. So I would say change the name, change the presentation task to gym classes. So that's to update the name. So it says the task has successfully been updated, right? So if we go back, we can see that our task name has already changed to gym classes, right? So that's also to show the functionality of the task again. So now I'm just going to ask a general question by saying who is the current president of Nigeria? And it says president of Nigeria is Ahmed Tinubu, which is actually right. So with this, we have been able to go through the whole functionality of our AI personal assistant agent. And like I said previously, this system is very customizable. You can always extend it to by adding as much functionality, as much system, as much node or tools that you want, right? You can make it a specialized research agent. You can even make it, you can add audio function to it in such a way that you're able to use voice notes directly in Telegram. We have a voice note in Telegram, but if you use the voice notes directly from here, you will not get any response. Right? So let's try that. Hi, good morning. So I'm not sure we're going to get any response because this system was not built to work with audio, right? So you can add audio functionality to this. From this new agent, just come and add a transcriber and then you're able to get the system to translate your audio into English language, right? For the AI agent to now process and then response back to you. So I'm going to be dropping the prompt that was used for this AI agent, right? I'm going to be dropping as a document, and then that brings us to the end of this class.